Hi, I'm Jessica Woll, divorce attorney and author of The Wise Divorce. And today we're going to talk about the topic of what a perfect divorce might look like. Okay, first of all, you're thinking perfect. That doesn't exist. And you're right, it doesn't exist. But the reason we're going to talk about the idea of a perfect divorce, the notion of it, is to try to make your experience a little better by having that as an ideal. So, how do you do that? You've picked an attorney, you've gone through the divorce checklist, you're ready to file. So now how do you make this experience a little less painful for your family, yourself, your spouse, your kids? Okay. First, think about all the good things that your spouse brought into your life, especially your children, right? I mean, you wouldn't have those children without your spouse. So keep that top of mind. Always think of your children in every decision you make with regard to your divorce. Also, try to see your soon-to-be ex-spouse as an ally. You want to make them, make them an accomplice in creating a better reality for your family, because you decided to file for divorce because the marriage is not working anymore. So you need to go in a different direction, but you're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, meaning this perfectly good spouse of yours who brought these fabulous children into the world is still going to be in your life. So make that person, when they're going to be your ex, they're not going to be an ex-family member. They're just going to be part of your family if you can stomach that, but a different type of family member than your husband or wife, right? So think of them, like I said, an ally, a family member. That's the messaging, if possible, that you want to share with your children, that you're still a family, you're still going to make decisions as the two adults, the husband and wife, on behalf of the family, that it's going to work best for the family. So let's say you're the one that wants a divorce and your spouse does not want a divorce. Remember to give them some grace and some time to catch up. You've already made the decision to file for divorce. Give them time to let the dust settle, get over the shock of the divorce before you start talking about settlement. There is a rhythm to divorce, and it takes time. And there's a right time to start talking about settlement, and there is a wrong time. The wrong time is where your spouse has just been served with divorce papers. They don't want a divorce. They're grieving. Give them a minute. Not too long. I mean, like a reasonable amount of time while you gather information, because you want to get all your cards on the table, see what there is to divide, and take it from there. So once you've given a bit of time and some grace to your spouse, if you're the one that wants a divorce and they don't, I mean, if you both want a divorce, great. You can probably jump into the settlement negotiations quicker, but you want to kind of look at things, you're going to kind of take the approach that you're equally going to divide what the two of you have accumulated over your marriage. It doesn't really matter how things are titled. It just matters whether or not you obtained certain items of property, let's say real estate, bank accounts, investment accounts during the marriage. Those are typically divided equally. If you had separate property prior to the marriage, or you inherited property, or it was gifted property from your family and you kept it separate, that's going to remain with you, most likely. Okay? There are some exceptions when you compare separate property, but general rule of thumb is that you're going to keep what you inherited as long as you didn't commingle it and you kept it separate. Now, with regard to a house, again, marital home, it's created stability for your kids. Do you want your kids to stay there? I mean, some people in a perfect divorce will say, hey, I'm going to let spouse A stay in the house with the kids until the youngest graduates from high school, and then we're going to divide the equity in that house. So trying to think outside the box. The court won't make you stay tied on a mortgage for that long, but you might want to do that for your kids. So think about what is best for your kids at all times. Remain child-centric people at all times. That's the best advice I can give you for the best outcome for your kids to grow up and be productive, healthy adults. Because how you handle things now during the divorce process has a major impact, of course, on your children. So be smart about that. And do things like, let's say you have a summer cottage and you both love it. Maybe you choose, I have clients who get along well enough, do see their ex-spouse as a family member after the divorce, that choose to share a vacation property together for the sake of their kids, and they just pick their different weeks. I mean, that's not for everyone. I'm going to be realistic here. It's only for people that really can co-parent and get along and coexist well. Typically people that both want a divorce and realize that the marriage has served its purpose and it needs to end and a new chapter needs to be started. But these are ideas that you can think outside the box. Judges will allow you and your spouse to negotiate and agree upon anything that you think is reasonable without interference in your decision making, you and your spouse. So take advantage of that and really try to keep the control amongst yourselves. And I hope with these tips that you and your spouse can find some peace, and while you navigate these uncharted waters of divorce. I'm here to try to make that a little better for you. So check me next time on The Wise Divorce. Thanks a lot.